Hey, my name is Ross Marquand, and I play Red Skull. You are listening to Panels to Pixels podcast. Check it out.
When's the last time you saw sunlight?
Is Gangnam Style still a thing?
Let's go outside.
Hey, panelists, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Robert.
And this is going to be a spoiler-full podcast about Gen V Season 1, Episodes 7 and 8. So we're going to do a spoiler-full podcast about the last two episodes. It's been a while since we covered anything when it came to Gen V, for the fact that a lot of things got in the way. Holidays, everything else, prep, and then just getting together to do this. But right now, we're going to cover it. So we're going to go right into our coverage for the first episode, or the seventh episode, I should say, Sick. And the synopsis for that particular episode is Calling All God You Home Teamers. Today, we are protesting the socialist Victoria Newman's town hall on campus. Let's show Newman and her super hating woke mob that we won't put up with their anti-superhero agenda. They will not control us. Hashtag make America super again. Hashtag Super Lives Matter, which is an interesting synopsis, but it's that tradition of what they were doing within this show of prepping us of what was going to happen.
Correct.
But yeah, and a lot of it was that feeling when you're watching certain scenes. But my overall thoughts for this particular episode were literally, it's just giving us more information of what Shetty is doing to the kids with the doctor. The thought of it was okay. I just thought it was pretty much okay for a penultimate episode for the season, but it just continued the story of what we were going through, and we're getting more realization of what happens within it. Like with the virus that they give the kids is pretty nasty. When we see the effects and what's going on, we find out it's only through bodily fluids for transmission, but Shetty wants it airborne. So, and then
yeah, she wants it highly contagious, highly airborne. She just wants to get rid of everybody.
Yeah, literally, and then she brings it up to Grace Mallory, who shows up, and we know her from The Boys, and Shetty actually comes up to her and says, and was wanting to get more info of the Supes to get the virus to them. And they talk about Butcher, and Mallory states what Shetty wants to do is pretty much, it's a crime. And she's pretty much on a long path of destruction and madness. Mallory talks to someone on the phone that was monitoring the conversation. So I wonder who it was from. Probably somebody from The Boys. And I'm thinking that's who it was. Or maybe, I don't think she had, she was in touch with, what's her name from that blows people's heads. I forgot.
Oh, Victoria?
Yeah, Newman. Yeah. But
yeah,
it
was an interesting episode in the sense that for the penultimate episode, you got basically this. You basically got the revelation that Shetty was more interested in trying to destroy all the Supes, and what her motivation behind that was.
Yeah, because that plane crash that that plane thing that we saw Maeve and Homelander on, apparently her husband and her child were on that, and they're dead because of that. So it's pretty much her vengeance against anybody who is super.
Correct.
In that case.
But for me, it was like kind of, what I would say, I don't know. It's, and spoilers, I think
it's already spoiled.
Yeah, so right, but you see that Kate kills Shetty because, of course, Shetty has been manipulating Kate.
Yes.
For all this time, and Kate finally lost it, and she says, "Screw it, I'm now going to kill all humans." Because in her mind now, it's the it's that whole thing where people have hurt me, so I'm gonna go hurt them back.
And
And
everybody's that are similar to them.
right. And then
Yeah.
Sam feels exactly the same way. So um but I felt like Shetty's, even though Shetty had that motivation and stuff like that, I wish if she was going to be the villain of this whole thing,
Yeah.
and they are doing a second season, I wish she would have gone into the second season.
Mm.
That I think that would have made the death probably even more meaningful or more, or whatever it is, because,
Yeah.
again, she's the one trying to come up with this virus. But we later learn that Victoria takes the virus.
Yes.
For what reason, I do not know.
I was thinking that she was trying to destroy it.
I'm thinking she is going to try to use it on Homelander.
That is a good possibility for the fact that of all the bad news, and we do see him, spoilers, yes, for the next episode, we do see Homelander come into the show.
But I mean, what I mean by that is, how she was. I mean, Homelander in The Boys was just getting out of hand so much.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that because, of course, she knows Homelander could stop her.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good way of having a weapon against Homelander, which honestly, you do need one. It's like saying, hey, Superman, to control Superman, Batman has kryptonite.
Yeah. Yeah, he has that. It's always a contingency plan. I got this so I can keep him in check. And
I do not blame him. So it's going to be interesting to watch The Boys, because I have a feeling that this is really going to spill into The Boys.
I think so too.
And we're going to be seeing a lot of stuff when it comes to that.
Yeah, I agree with that. With this particular episode, though, there was a few things that I did enjoy about it. Sam being told by Little Cricket to stay in, but then again, he gets out of the room.
Yeah,
and he and everybody's having a party, and he's taken in and to the groups that are there. He got that one kid who has no dick now, and they convinced him to party and stuff like that. And they're sliding on the ice like Iceman and the X-Men would do, just like they would slide down the hallway. He's drinking beer. He's partying it up on.
I mean, when you're basically taken away from the public and from everything that a kid would normally enjoy, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh wow, so this is how life really is. And as a matter of fact, what's her name? The girl that shrinks.
Little Cricket.
No, but she has a name. I mean,
I forgot her name now.
Oh my god. Whatever it is, Emma. That's her name. Emma. I know Emma's trying to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
But he just feels like, oh, you're keeping me away from the stuff that I should have been doing. I mean, the life I should have been enjoying.
Yeah.
And I understand. I kind of understand him, but at the same time, I understand her, because
she's trying to be protective.
Correct.
To him. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So.
Yeah, it just all rolls into that. He's, being influenced by everybody else around the school. So he's dragged to that Cameron Coleman show after Polarity, with Polarity, I guess. After Polarity freaked out and stuff, and Victoria Newman shows up to defend people and super able people, or the super able community, with her pledge for rights in the government. But it's the typical rallying of the kids there, and the kids don't know she's a soup.
No, they don't, because I think if they did, then they wouldn't have reacted, I think, the way they did.
The way they did, exactly.
Right.
And but it shows that, you know, they saw her as a regular human, and what she was trying to present to them is what a human would do, but she's trying to do it in equality for the government and for all communities at that point. But they don't see it that way, and it's the extremism of one section of a group towards another
Right.
section of a group that we've seen in society for, you know, like over 1,000 years. Obviously, every major community in the world over the history that we have as humans have suffered with like two adversities. You know, there were two
Right.
adversity groups, and this just shows it, and it's just in your face. But you could see it from both point of views, the way it's been filmed and the way it's been written. It's interesting, but it's just shoving it down our throats, I think, at times, because it's been done before. But
Right.
it's nice. It's like, oh, okay, well, at least it's only one scene. It's not like something that's ongoing, because we've seen it in Watchmen. We've seen it, the Watchmen show that was on HBO. We've
Mhm.
seen it on the Walking Dead did that too, because you had several different groups that had opposing sides.
Right.
You know who's right and who's wrong, who's the better community, who's not, and who's leading by a good example, and each has their own issues.
Right.
Same thing with if you look at liberals, Republicans, or independents, things of that nature too, because everybody has their views. I'm not trying to be political, everybody, but I'm just stating it's that same concept.
Right.
But we do get that, and then during that whole thing, that's when everything starts to go a little crazy. After Victoria did that, because of the kids basically riot. And during that, within that time, you know, and after it, I think it moves into where Marie finds out that Victoria is a soup, and then she finds out that she has the same powers. Marie has the same powers as Victoria Newman.
Well, we kind of all find out that, because at first we knew she was a soup.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't know what type of soup. I think we assumed that she was probably like a telekinetic.
Yes.
When she was blowing up heads left and right. We just didn't know she was like a bloodbender until, you know, she revealed it to Marie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, you know, you already spoke about it, the meeting where she gets the it's after Kate's having touching Shetty, and then having her tell everybody exactly what she is and what she did and everything else.
Right.
But you already brought it up about Dr. Cardoza, and that's when we see his head pop after she gets the suitcase.
You kind of knew. Look, you kind of knew that was going to happen, because as soon as she asked, "Are you the only one that knows how to make this?"
Yeah.
And he said yes. I went, "Oh, he's dead."
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, he was dead after he was pissing in Shetty's liquor bottle.
Right.
That one scene, that's nasty. No, I doubt she would ever drink that stuff, but who knows?
Well, I don't think she will now.
There's a few quotes in here just to sum up before that I have, which are funny and interesting. Sam talking to Emma about it. He goes, "I did, however, rip a person in half. In my defense, he was a puppet at the time."
I thought that was funny. Just like, but then and then you think back, oh yeah, he massacred those puppets, knowing that it was real people.
Yeah.
But like I think the best part of that is that your imagination can kind of run free. And as he's killing and tearing apart the Muppets, you can only imagine what he's doing to the real people.
Exactly. And all we see is glitter. And I still think that had to do with like they didn't want to pay for that much special effects for the blood, or they were just trying to tone it down just slightly, put a little humor into it.
Right. No, I think it's more of let me see. It's going to cost us less to actually do
just a Muppet with glitter.
Just the Muppet with the glitter than to actually do a whole bunch of CG blood and all that stuff. So,
yeah. One thing that I did like, and this is between was, and it's a funny quote too. it's Sam and Emma, and he goes through her panty drawer before she comes in.
I
And
thought that was interesting.
multiple size of underwears for whatever size she chooses.
Yeah.
From like little doll to all the way to regular person. And
But then he puts on a pair of underwear with 2 fingers, and he like that's the part that was like, okay, this kid is weird.
well, that kid is weird in the fact that he never really got to grow up, so you can understand
Right.
it from his point of view. And I think in my mind, I'm looking at him going, he has the mentality of like a 10-year-old. He doesn't really know. He probably, it's like when he got an erection when he was with her and he lost his virginity, forget it. He goes, I like that. That never happened to him before. But I just love how he's going through her stuff in front of her before she
Right.
leaves him. And he's picking up like these multiple different like dildos, vibrators, and everything. And she goes, oh, it's a reasonable amount of sex toys for a woman my age.
You gotta have variety.
Gotta have variety. Oh man. And there was one from Maverick to Emma as he comes looking for Sam, and he goes, I'm not a find your friends app. Stop cock blocking me and leave. And that's when he's got the llama in the back, when he's got like a
fucking weird kid, man.
invisible boy.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then Marie, the last one I have would be Marie going, do you know what you have done to Sam? And then Sam goes, justice. Of like that typical reaction of anybody who's going for what they really need to, what we pretty much discussed.
Right.
But yeah, did you have anything more on this particular episode, or
I mean, the only thing we find out that the school has always been a front for experiments on soups, and it's just a front, like it's just like, hey, we're gonna make it a school, but honestly it's to bring in soups so they can then study them and stuff like that. So that was really messed up. I thought, wow, okay, yeah, I was like, wow, so it wasn't about developing these kids, it was more about exploiting these kids. So yeah, so that was like one of the things that really stood out for me. I also kind of, so when Sam escapes from the room and goes into the hallway, and all of a sudden, he sees the kid using his freeze abilities, and he's like, aren't we gonna get in trouble about that and stuff like that? And the girl says, we're soups, we could do anything we want. To me, that was a metaphor for, we are rich, we can do whatever we want.
In the sense of they're rich with power, they could, and it's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And also that actually is a mentality too of people who have money itself. A lot of people who
exactly. So that's how that's how I saw it, as when she said, oh, we're soups, we could do whatever we want. I was like, that sounds a lot like, hey, my parents are really rich, and because they're rich and they're probably titans of industry, fucking senators and all kinds of shit, we could do whatever the hell we want and we could get away with it. And that's what that reminded me of, where at that point, honestly, there was and mind you, I had a few glasses of wine in me. But at that point I was like, you know what, I understand Shetty now. Sometimes you just got to get rid of a few of them. But that means that, it's just I think that was the biggest, that was one of the big things that stood out to me. It's just like, wow, it's just the way these kids are being led to believe that, but at the same time they are too naive and stupid to know that they're being used as experiments.
Very true.
So, and yeah, that was pretty much it. Let me see here. I mean, Marie finding the files on the plane destroyed by Homelander, which turns out to be Shetty's family, that was in it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big thing there. So,
it was never really said outrightly that that was what happened. They didn't even use a flashback, I believe.
No, they didn't.
So you kind of picked it together. So you had to be a fan of the boys while watching this.
Exactly.
So listeners that are just watching this, and yes, like we said, spoilers, but it'll be spoiled for the fact if you go see the boys now and start watching those seasons before, that's what happens prime. And I think within the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but obviously people who are watching Gen V are fans.
I think it was for the first few episodes.
Yeah.
I still remember that episode very clearly because he just, the airplane's about to fall and all this stuff. And he's just like, why should we save him? And just kind of leaves. And who was the
Queen Maeve?
Queen Maeve was even in disbelief that he was going to do that.
Well, she wouldn't have been able to get off the plane anyway. He was going to just leave her there, even though she's indestructible. But
right.
In order to get off that plane, she needed him to fly her off, which is what happened at that point, too.
Right.
They literally were, well, this is pointless and useless. We can't stop it. It's going to crash anyway. He goes, let me just kill these people and then let's go. And she was trying to be somebody who's being moral and empathetic and a hero, but looked at him going, you're a crazy son of a bitch. And I'm stuck with you because I can't get anybody else to fly me off this crazy plane.
And yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. So I had to point that out too, because a lot of people, somebody had asked me that and I'm like, well, you didn't see the boys. And they're like, no. I was like, go watch the boys. It was referencing that. And they were like, oh, I got to watch that whole series. I'm like, but you watch Gen V.
But you're not watching the original, which is what,
yeah.
Right.
Because they thought, like you said before, and you've kind of alluded to it, that it kind of gives you that feel of Professor X's mansion and then having all the kids there. And it's like an academy for that, which it does reflect a lot. It's like Professor X's like a school for gifted youngsters on acid with.
Yeah, it's more of the right. How can I say? I think Professor, but the thing is that the X Mansion is not a place where they're looking to get what I would say exposure.
No.
It's
the complete opposite. It's
complete
meant to be a
opposite, right?
secret. Yeah.
Because they're really trying to protect these kids with new mutant powers and so they could get adjusted to it and give them an education, all these things that they're trying to protect these kids from. But this school is not about that. The school is about let it be exposed and and of course about social media and who's trending in social media and all these things. So but kind of the only thing that I wished I would have seen, like it, well, how can I say, the X Mansion has the danger room. These guys have the woods. It's all the opposite. So because the danger room is really meant to have hone their abilities, have them show how to use it. And here it's all about how can I exploit these kids and study them and just put them through the worst thing possible. So so there's a lot of parallels with Marvel and DC with the Gen V and the boys, which I find really interesting.
I find it fun to do that on occasion, just because obviously kids with powers, and it just reminds you of the X-Men, because obviously they were mutated. Even in X-Men, they're mutants. They never really explained how. Over the years through Marvel Comics, they made it like, oh, they're a derivative of the Inhumans, or an Inhuman body, or whatever, and they changed it over time. It's also something that I believe that MCU is trying to dabble with as well, with certain events and things of that nature. But that's Marvel. This is this, but it's cool to give those comparisons and look. And it's good. It's a good way to actually get into a discussion with somebody, because if you're not into Marvel, but you're into this, you could have something to talk about too.
Right. And the great thing about watching this, because I do it all the time. Every time I watch it and I see somebody using their powers, I go, who did they get those powers from? What
Yeah.
character in DC or Marvel? And I have seen everything from Black Canary, doing the voice thing to, of course, the normal Superman and the Flash and all these things, So there's so many different characters with the powers that you have seen in comic books from major comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No originality, you're saying. Think about
well,
it.
you know what? I mean,
It's been done before, so they're just
well, the question is, so the blood, where have you seen the blood part?
I would say
you know.
more from maybe like Carnage or something. I don't think he was more blood based, but
Well, he's a symbiote.
he's a symbiote of a crazy person that kills. But that's the only thing I could give some sort of comparison to. But honestly, I think that would probably be more of the most original.
Right.
I would say out of like the powers that were out there, it's like, but it's kind of a sick one. So it's more out of a horror book than anything.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if anybody out there knows what superhero in which publication, whether it's Marvel, DC, Image,
Independent
Boom
comic,
Independent,
anything.
right? I mean, where does the blood, or what superhero out there has that type of ability?
Yeah.
Let us know on that, because I'll be very curious. I personally don't know of any.
Me neither. I was trying to come up with something and I couldn't.
Yeah, because like the kid, look, you have one kid that can manipulate metal, so that to me is Magneto.
Correct.
The
Little Cricket,
gender, the
Little
gender,
Cricket's like Ant-Man and
right, and Giant Man and stuff like that.
Jordan Lee.
The gender bending, I'm
Yeah.
not sure about that. That might be an original thing.
I think so. That gender bending thing, I think, was like a pretty much something that they thought original, which is pretty interesting. I like it, but both characters, they have like, whether Jordan is male or female, apparently the powers are a little bit different. Like in the girl form, strong, super strong,
Right.
but we didn't really see any of that from when they were male. So
Okay.
it's kind of strange. I was hoping to see a little bit more. It's like, oh, okay, I could do this in this form, but in this form, I'm different.
Yeah, I mean, I know what they were trying to do with the gender bending. I mean, that was more of a social commentary on, I think, on transgender people that are going through, the whole trans thing. But I'm wondering if they also got it from, if it's still part or a variation of something in a comic book.
Yeah, I would like to know that too.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of the similarities were there too. We've seen that. We actually mentioned that too in The Boys when we covered that.
oh, and the boys, that's a crap load. I mean, I think just what is it? The five
Yeah,
are basically the Justice League.
yeah. Well, the 5 out of the 7.
Or it's the 7, I think. Okay,
yeah.
so I mean,
the 7
so
in,
you got
in The Boys.
right, because you got Homelander, who's Superman,
You got
You
Maeve,
got-
who's Wonder Woman.
right, and
And
then
The Deep,
Uh,
who's Aquaman.
right, and then who's the kid that runs really fast is Flash,
A-Train.
A-Train, and then the other guy who's always dressed in black, I believe,
Noir.
maybe Noir, like Batman.
Batman, but he's because he does bleed. He was killed. Spoilers, everybody.
Right.
But he was also a little crazy, and and it kind of gave that Snake Eyes image from like G.I. Joe.
I was just gonna say he's kind of a combination of Batman and Snake Eyes or something.
Yeah, I guess it's more of his cunning and his ability to kill and be unseen. I don't know.
Right. Now the girl with the blonde girl, I forget her name.
Starlight.
Starlight. Who
I'm
would
getting the
she-
names off the top of my head too, and I have like no notes or anything because I'm like, we're talking about The Boys. I got to remember these names. Yeah, Starlight. It was an interesting one because it was more about light.
but there are superheroes about light, because if you think about, like, let's say Dazzler, you think about Dagger from Cloak and Dagger.
Hmm.
Those are all superheroes that have like light-based powers.
Very true.
Right. So, but I'm just wondering if there was another one that she really
I
like.
was thinking Adam Eve, maybe from Invincible, but I think Eve's powers are light based, but she can change objects to
Well, she manipulates
physical.
objects to other
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Exactly. Because let me tell you, if I knew somebody like Adam Eve, I'd be like, listen, just take this cinder block, convert it into gold, and that takes care of all my problems.
Exactly. Well, she does do that to her friends. I think the
To her
Jamie,
to her parents, and her parents rejected it.
yeah, her parents did. She did that for her parents, but she also did something with a plant on a tree to make it beer or alcohol too.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
listen, it's the best type of friend to have around. But
Do me a favor, do this. Yeah, okay. But yeah,
But
you got Starlight. So yeah,
yeah, just
majority of them.
just kind of wondering what, because in Gen V, you could kind of see a lot of, okay, this simulates this simulates this. Um, some of them were creepy. So when they went out into, what is it, the woods to free all the inmates, there was that girl that was just sitting in the dark with her eyes glowing white.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I don't know who that is, but that is just creepy looking. And you could tell, just, I mean, the way they did it, you're like, these are just some unstable people that should not get out.
Yeah, these are the people that we lock up in a rubber room.
Yeah, this is no longer about, oh, they're going after Soups. No, you are crazy and you need to be locked up and medicated.
which kind of leads us to, because we got to talk about it, episode 8, which is Guardians of Godolkin. So this is what we're leading up to, which is the finale, the season finale for Gen V, season 1. So the synopsis for this one, which is very interesting, it says, if you or a human loved one have been injured or killed while working at Godolkin University, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Hundreds of human employees have been victimized by Godolkin students, but the law offices of Brummer and Brummer have won the millions in personal injury and wrongful death lawsuits. Contact us for free consultation at 1-888-177-2774. Know your rights. So I just love, I have to say it in like some sort of TV announcer voice or something, to the way they put these out there. And I read it at when these episodes are coming up and I was watching, I read them that like that too in my head. And I just laugh at it, but I just love how they came up. It was an interesting concept for the show and how they were able to give us a synopsis. I like it very much, other than where we get with like Loki and Disney Plus, where they give you that like short, cute, quick sentence, and it's like, okay, all vague.
Yeah, exactly. They were just very creative about it. So
yeah.
But episode 8 was also very interesting. Episode 8 is where everything just comes to a head.
Yeah, I agree. This is one, I would say it was probably one of my favorite episodes, not because it was the finale and it ended. And I'm not saying, it finally ended. Oh, that was a chore. But I'm just saying that it's like, okay, we come to our conclusion, but we get so many cool things in this. We get 2 cameos that are amazing in it. One of which, one of my favorite actors that are out there, Colby Minifie, back as Ashley, who is, in charge of Vought, Ashley Barrett.
Oh, yeah.
And I still can't, I still keep looking out going, is that a wig? Is that a wig? Because, she doesn't have much hair after the boys. But we get a couple of funny moments regarding that because of what's happening at the school at that point. Everything goes to a head, like you said. I did enjoy it, but it does give us a setup. This particular episode is what we were talking about, or Rob was talking about before, about a setup for the next season of The Boys, which I believe they finalized filming, or they're finishing up filming. because they went back into production after the all the strikes and everything that were going on with SAG-AFTRA and the WGA.
Right.
So yeah, I've been looking forward to that for that to come out. I've seen stuff posted by Jeffrey D. Morgan, who apparently is in this season of The Boys. We got Randy Quaid posting things as well, but apparently they were also on another project in Atlanta, him and Jeffrey D. Morgan. So I'm curious as to what that is. But all the other cast mates that they have also did it, like Anthony Starr, is it? He who plays Homelander. He'd been posting, but somebody posted recently. It's like, don't do your own stunts, and I think they ripped it off of Anthony Starr's only his Instagram,
Right.
and it's him in this particular episode, and he goes, "Why am I doing this? Why?" And they're just hoisting him all the way back up to do another shot, and it's like, that's beyond like 25 feet. That had to be at least 50 feet up in the air. I'd be pooping my pants because of like the harnesses. They must have had him harnessed, and the insurance on that alone must have been great because literally below him was ground in that crane.
And this was for what scene?
The end of this particular episode.
Oh, you're talking about
Homelander.
Homelander.
Anthony Starr.
Right. Was he up that high?
Oh, if you look at the Instagram or that video that they have played,
Right.
it's hilarious to look at, but it looked like that to me. It's like it had to be close to 50 feet, just so that he could move in, because I believe it's a wide shot.
Right.
And then him coming down from the sky, slowly ascending.
That was a very cool scene, because you would think that he's there to help.
Nope.
And I guess we'll reveal basically, what transpires at the end later on. But yeah, so
yeah, we don't have to go in any particular order, but yeah, at the very end, literally, it's Reservoir Dogs on the campus of Godolphin, because the crazy kids were let out to play, like we were talking about. So the ones that were being experimented on just come out and start attacking a lot of the other students. Meanwhile, within that point, you have Ashley Barrett in a meeting at Godolphin University going through all the students of who could be a possible contender for the 7. And they're looking at specific ones. Like, they passed over Marie because, Bloodborne style superhero powers. No, we don't want to do that. They look at, what's the kid's name? Andre. Yeah. And the fact then she's looking at his social media, his interests and likes, and she goes, "Ugh, this is terrible," and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a whole Hollywood TV thing. It's like, okay, who's popular, and it doesn't matter.
Who can we bank on?
Yeah, exactly. Who could we bank? Who's bankable? That's exactly what they're looking at.
But they are having this meeting, and during this time, they don't even hear the alarms going off. You got one kid running. The first one that comes out attacks the social media authority of Godolphin University. Apparently, his legs were broken, his arms were broken, or something was broken on him, and he finally got back. And he was talking, and he sees the person coming up, and they're ready to. He sees what they already did. They attacked the student while running down the hallway or whatever. And he's like, I got to stop this. So he does that sonic thing that kind of renders them powerless or hinders them.
Yeah, he has some kind of like device. And then he puts it in her freaking mouth, and it just kind of blows up her head.
Oh, yeah. It was like, this is like old Reservoir Dogs now. It's like it's down to the point where it's going to be a bloody mess, and everybody's getting like killed in some way. So yeah, he does that to her, and then he has to call and let people know, and then he eventually meets his end at a certain point too. During the episode, I forget if it's moments after, but I didn't put that in my notes. It tells you how long ago I actually watched the episode, but I do remember it. And those kids get out. They start like the one kid, I think it was Rufus, that's out there. No Dick, who's trying to do something for his Instagram. And the kid comes out And well, he's got none. Murray blew that up. The other kid comes out that was in the woods, quote unquote woods, experimental. And he was like, "Oh, you're interrupting my Insta, man. What the hell?" Blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know, he sees and he gets out of the way, but he's off to the back and he's still trying to do it on his own. But within that time, the kid attacks somebody else and he goes, "Ooh," and he starts filming it live.
Yeah.
And then you got another kid coming out. And then when the alarm rings, I don't know if it was the media content creator or head of for Godolphin University, they hit an alarm thing for where that sonic noise that disrupts everybody,
Disrupts anybody who's a soup from
soup,
what, you know.
yeah, was V-juice in them. So that goes off on campus and rendering all the students, because he sees it's chaos.
Yeah.
And one kid who, if you think about it, it looks like what's his name, Black Bolt, with the voice, and he just shuts down with his voice. It's very much like a sonic boom himself with his vocal powers, and it just disrupts everything, like breaks all glasses, breaks the actual speakers that are projecting the sonic noise to render them powerless. So that goes away, and then it's back at it again.
No, yeah, like I said, there's just, I mean, I guess the precautions they took. I mean, once you know that, you know, Godolphin was basically a front for, you know, experimenting on them, and then you start seeing all the security measures they had. That's when, you know, everything kind of makes sense. It's like, of course they would have that because they're trying to control these kids and all that stuff. You know, they're not really trying to protect them. So, yeah, it's just, you know, I would say this show, my opinion of this show was that it started very, you know, I'm not going to say super strong, but it started pretty good.
Yeah.
It got better. And then very towards the end, you know, it did the typical boys thing. Like you and I were discussing, you know, before the show started.
Yeah.
But it's not a show that I probably will go back to watch. And it's not because I didn't like it, but it's not a show that intrigue, you know, that
it's not like a movie that you could watch over and over again that you love.
And over, right, exactly.
Like Endgame, or there's certain shows that people have a love for because it was written very well. That, you know, I know a lot of older people. Obviously, we grew up in the same generation. We're in the same generation, but MASH was around and people loved that show, and they could still watch it to this day.
Right.
When it's on TBS or something on a marathon or something. And but this wouldn't be a show. I agree with you. I would be like, if it was on, I'd leave it on as background and be like, oh, hold on. There's that cool scene. Let me go watch it. Okay. All right. I had
you
my
know what?
fun.
It's interesting you say that, but that's exactly it. It's like, if it comes on, you're like, oh, okay.
I'll give it a watch a little bit.
I'll give it a watch, but not like, hey, like I think, like I said, you and I were talking about like, I was talking about what is it? Blue Eye Samurai. So Blue Eye Samurai that came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Such a beautifully done show. Very violent, but man, the story is great. Everything about it is just such an amazing show. I would find any excuse to go watch it again. Okay. This was not that. And I don't know why, even though I enjoyed the show. I don't know if it's because, honestly, while the show was good, I don't think the cast is, for me, I don't think the cast is enough for me to go watch it. Maybe for younger kids it is. You know, it's like, oh, wow, you know, yeah, of course I want to watch all these, you know, young kids and stuff. For me, it wasn't. It just wasn't one of those shows like, oh, for me, it was just,
you can't really relate to it, is what it is. We're at an age that's older, that I think that's why.
Maybe. I mean, I understood the social commentaries. I definitely understood that, which was very, very in your face. And I commend the writers and everybody for that.
Yeah. And it's also, that is very challenging to the world as it is, because
correct.
You're setting yourself up for cancel culture at that point.
Exactly. But that being said, none of these actors
Engaged you personally.
engage me or impress me enough for me to go,
Yeah.
oh, like the actress who does Victoria.
Hmm.
She's very intriguing to watch. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, of course, but
Yeah.
she's very intriguing to watch. I have seen her uh in other projects, and whenever I see that she is in a project or stuff, I'm actually intrigued to watch her because she's actually, I think, pretty good.
Yeah.
None of these kids really made me go, "Oh,
Gave it to you.
yeah, this one person's acting or whatever was so fantastic and so amazing that I have to watch it again."
Yeah.
Again, the show was good. I
Yeah.
just can't say I can't point to any individual in the cast that stood out for me.
I could only say about three, maybe, but the way I view it, just how you're saying it and
Right.
explaining it, it's kind of like how certain shows, like I didn't understand the fandom. Supernatural has a huge fandom. Steve
Right.
Brown, who does the podcast with us too, he's a huge Supernatural fan. I watched a bit of it, but I never got grasped into it. I didn't really get grappled with it. And it lasted so many seasons and it was highly rated and it was done. I could tell the writing was really good in it.
Right.
But and then same thing with but that appealed to both older and younger audiences. Whereas
Mm.
like with Vampire Diaries, like I'm going to like of all things, I'll mention it because I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead in its early years. Towards the end, the last few seasons were kind of fell short. I'm glad Angela Kang did what she did, but I watch it. I'm a completionist, and I loved what she had to offer. It was hit or miss with a lot of episodes, but Vampire Diaries, I see that I'm going to this convention, but they had it split for a Walking Dead and a Vampire Diaries one, and I'm like, I have no clue as to what this fandom is, but apparently it was extremely popular and it attracted a specific generation. And I realized with The Walking Dead, it was multi generational. It appealed to old and younger audiences. I would say middle age all the way down to teen or preteen,
Right.
because families were getting involved with it, which is pretty odd for a horror kind of drama show based on a horror zombie comic. But Vampire Diaries had its own niche. I think that this is what they were trying to appeal with Gen V for the superhero aspect, but the extreme superhero aspect of it.
Right.
Now, I give the actors credit. I thought they were very well with the with all the writing that they were given to, and were acted it very well. They portrayed their characters well, like Rob was saying, and how I feel too is that they don't really stand out, but I could see what if they did something else that was standard drama or comedy, possibly. I could see them coming out like Derek Liu and London Thor, who both play Jordan Lee. I could see that, but we didn't really get to see too much of Derek Liu as Jordan Lee. I think
Right.
we got more of London Thor. I would say Kate Dunlap, Maddie, played by Maddie Phillips. She was really good. I could see her because she's got that look about her for an actress that could work. Definitely Lizzie Broadway, who plays Little Cricket or Emma Meyer. I could see that. And then obviously, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, Patrick Schwarzenegger, in it, but this is the beginning of his career. So I see this as a stepping stone for a lot of them because they're all new. And I think that's what it is. I think I give them props for what they going on next. I'll look out for them, obviously, but it's not something that would captivate me. For them, this works for the fact that the show grabbed a lot of people's attention, and this will get them work later on, I think, or even now, probably, for the fact the show's been on already, and it's gotten some respectful reviews here and there. But like you said, the show, this will come and go, and then we'll get the new season, and then it'll be a whole new, oh, I got to watch that, because it's going to pick up from where it left off, or where maybe even with The Boys does. But The Boys will be continuously very popular for what it's been doing. When it first came out on the scene, it was like the extreme. We've never saw this before.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's like sometimes everything has its run too. It's like, oh, yeah, it's been done. Oh, okay, it's the same thing. And then it runs its course, and then it just doesn't get picked up, or they end it at a certain point. But
yeah, we just got to see where things go on that. But like I said, I'm sure the second season is going to be great too. And I can't, like I said, I can't wait to watch the new season of The Boys and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we discussed in other podcasts, and other podcasts have discussed, there is that, a bit of that superhero fatigue and stuff like that.
There is, yeah.
And right now, like it's funny because I just finished watching Paramount Plus. I finished watching The Lioness, right? And The Lioness is basically a political thriller with a CIA, special forces team or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe Saldana's in it. Nicole Kidman, Morgan Freeman is in it. Some really great actors. And it was actually very good. It was 10 episodes or 8 episodes, whatever it was, but it was such a great show. It's like, it's the same thing with like Monarch. It's such a great show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so away from the superhero stuff
mm-hmm.
that it makes you appreciate it even more.
Yeah.
So I look forward to those. As a matter of fact, and let me tell you, like, I think Linus has been out for a while, but I just said, you know what? Let me finally watch this. And the first episode kind of piqued my interest, and I kept watching, and I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
But it's, as I said before, and especially in my podcast, I said, you know what? I just think that all these studios need to regroup and start to really come out with some great quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to have it, we don't have to have 10 of these things a year.
We don't have to have quantity. We want quality over what you've been dishing out. We've been saying this for a while, for not just here, but on your podcast too.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It does. And I know that Marvel's looking to hold back on certain stuff now. Feige's like control. I think Warner Brothers will probably be doing that. Sony, on the other hand, what? You got Madam Web. You got what else coming?
Kraven the Hunter.
Venom 3. What else is coming out? Like they're really capitalizing on the Spider-Man.
Yeah, because they all of a sudden it's like, well, listen, Spider-Man is our property. Look how great that did. And I was like, dude, stop. MCU did that, not you guys.
Feige was helping you.
So that's what exactly. So all of a sudden they're like, oh, and they did very well with Venom. The first Venom, let's be honest, Venom is not a great movie at all.
No,
I don't think it's great. It's a fun movie, and it was different, than the Spider-Man stuff that they were throwing out. Mm-hmm. So it became popular, but dude, then you had Carnage, then you had Morbius.
Oh, Morbius was terrible.
Morbius was, not great. And it's like, no, they didn't learn a single thing. And then you watch the trailer for these new things, and you're like, yep. And I believe, and I deeply, deeply believe this. Because DC has not had a great run, because, Sony doing what they did,
mm-hmm.
Marvel stumbling a bit. How can I say? Some of these movies that came out in this last phase, I truly believe that if that type of caliber movie would have come out within the first 10 years of Marvel, we still would have been like, you know what? That was still pretty good.
Yeah, that is true.
I have a feeling about that. But all of a sudden after that, it just like, I mean, if there was a trade-off, okay, Marvel's not doing very well, but holy shit, DC now is doing amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll still be peaked. It was like, all right, Now it's DC's turn. Let's go see what they're doing. But when you have, well, DC's been doing not that great, and then all of a sudden you have all these other superhero properties not doing great, and then Marvel starts, then you're like, okay, I'm freaking you got so many people that have checked out, and it seems like I'm almost one of those people. I'm
I know.
almost one of those people. I'm just like, just
Why am I suffering through this still? And you feel that, like,
and I'll continue to suffer through it because this is what I do, but
same here. But I'm not
you know,
saying I'm suffering. I could find something that I do that appeals to me and I like about it, and that's the reason why
I'm gonna
continue
have
it.
to take the Mark Bernardin
See,
well, because so in the last episode of
Batman Beyond.
Fat Man Beyond. They were talking about, how I think how you haters, if you're, how can you, instead of sounding like a hater,
Mhm.
Because the big thing nowadays is that in YouTube, you see so many people, the first thing you see is, some kind of what I would call the clickbait. They'll say something like, "Oh my God, yeah, this is failing," and all this stuff, just so they could get clicks.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
which is probably something I'm going to start doing. Unfortunately, I don't know. No, but somebody asked the question: how can you continue to get those clicks without being that way? But Mark Bernardin says something very interesting that while he's a writer, nobody wants to hear a writer bitch. What they want is, okay, what solution can you come up with? And he said the best thing to do is, instead of bitching about it, hey, here's a solution for what's going on. Or, hey, here are the things that I liked. Even though there's like about 50 things that are bad, but I did like this one little thing here.
Exactly.
And that's a way to stay positive about it.
Yeah.
And, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, the funniest too is speak about Mark Bernardin. I saw something, and you and I have the Marvel's entertaining. We didn't do a review of it, but overall, my feelings about it. I went to go see it. There were some things that I had problems with.
Right.
It was entertaining. It gave a build up. The story was lack in certain parts, but I did enjoy a lot of aspects within the movie itself. Now,
Right.
Mark Bernard, after I watched the movie and I got it, I went to a matinee. I didn't go to AMC, an AMC experience or anything. I went to a local theater for a matinee, so I only paid like $9 to get in. But
AMC pass. I'm going to tell you right now. Just to the
I know.
AMC pass, man.
yeah. Oh, he doesn't get money for that too, people. So, but yeah, I watched and I looked at my Instagram thing real quick in my car just to see, and I looked, and it was an actual Insta or tweet, maybe no, because he was done with Twitter. So it was him saying, "Oh, so the Marvels thought it was great," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, Mark Bernardin saying that? What is going on? So I didn't really get a chance to listen or watch that particular episode, but the first thing I thought of coming out of that movie is like, Bernardin's gonna rip that movie apart, and Kevin's gonna just say, "I love it."
Right. No, I think they discussed the fact that, it wasn't great, but, they didn't say that it. How can I say? I don't know if I could say that the Marvels had some nice little moments.
Yeah.
But there were other moments that it kind of, and I don't know if it's because for like the last 6 months, all I have been hearing is how the Marvels have had to go through reshoots, which any movie does do that, but reshoots because it has tested so bad.
And rewrites too.
And rewrites and all these things. So I went into it very skeptical, and maybe that's a part of me that's just like, I don't think this is going to be good.
It soured your thought before you even went in there.
Oh my God.
See it.
It kind of did, but I'm a glutton for punishment. If it's a Marvel movie, I am going to go see it in the movies.
Yeah.
So, so they're still going to get my freaking money.
Oh yeah.
It's not like they're not. I just think that But like we were talking about, going back to Gen V, it's like, the whole superhero fatigue and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's sometimes a little too much. And I think Gen V being an offshoot of the boys, good idea.
Mhm.
But at this moment in time where we're at, maybe it was not the right time to release this entire show.
Correct.
I could be wrong. But it has been doing fairly well in the ratings and all that stuff, and that's why they gave it, a second
shot.
season. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to continue on our thoughts too about Gen V, because I think we digressed way so much.
Way too much.
So the basically one thing I liked was, and it was the biggest part of the episode, was the chaos on the campus.
Jesus.
And the chaos on the campus, but there was one funny part before it ensued even further, which was literally the drama teacher Adam, who we saw his show last episode with Kate and Andre on the TV. They actually were watching the movie that he was in, because he was not part of the Seven. He was one of the people who was Soups that Vought had promoted, and all he did was movies and stuff. And I guess he was like more like a kid actor with his powers, but he was also, he was really creepy. Still is. Sam, Sam tries to choke him, and Emma basically interrupts because he was like, "Oh, this is my," and then Adam starts running to the office where Ashley is and states that he would tell everyone what they did in the bathroom at the pediatric cancer fundraiser, which was such a funny moment because she's like, "Okay, let him in."
But he keeps going, and she's like, "Can somebody let him? Can just somebody let him in? And you should stop talking now."
Yeah, it's like, I don't want that out. It's like, don't remember you let me wear your wig. No.
Listen, man. As soon as he said that, I'm like, listen, the cat's out of the bag. All right.
Yeah, it's like they already know you guys fooled
there's
around or whatever extra kinky thing that she let you do to her. Who knows?
Whatever you let out, I'm gonna find out somehow.
Yeah. But while that is ensuing, that it's like Ashley at that point is trying to coerce certain students to take out all these other students that are doing things. Oh, we will make you one of the Seven, and all these fake promises. And she does that with Marie. And she calls Marie to do all this, and then it's like Marie shoots it down and everything. She just wants to do the right thing. And basically, because all the Soups trying to come into their office, do the same thing, do damage to them. They then we see what's happening, and then Andre is trying to stop some kid with a superpower with the helicopter. They were like pulling the helicopter down, looking to crash it. And Andre helps the landing of it with his powers, which is like, like Magneto, like you were saying before, or even his father Polarity would do, pulling it down. We see Marie using her powers in ways we haven't even seen before, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah. And then
she kind of develops like, this she doesn't need to cut herself in order to actually use her powers.
She uses everybody else's blood.
She could just use people's blood, in that sense, because man, let me tell you, when Kate was about to touch, who was it, Andre?
Yeah.
Or right? She blew up Kate's arm just by thinking about it. And I was like, oh, she became like Victoria now.
Yep, exactly. And I was like, oh, you only have one hand left to touch people with, lady. And now they're gonna call you Stumpy. The funniest is with like the coolest part, I think, not funny, with Marie's power that we get to see Rufus coming out, and he's completely naked, so you can't see him, he's invisible, but she is able to see his blood inside his body to know to do something to him. So that's a new power scheme that she's got, that she learned on her own, apparently through it
was through Victoria, because Victoria was the one that said, look into me, and that's how all of a sudden she found out, oh wait, Victoria has that compound V or whatever it is in her blood.
Yeah.
And so it was that part where she was about to cut herself, and then she went, oh wait. And then I think that's when she thought, oh, I could do the same thing I did with Victoria, which is I could try to kind of like sense the blood from somebody else and where they're at.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. It's like, okay, that's kind of an evolution of her powers and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. So
yeah, she's like a human bloodhound at that point, if you think about it. But we also see something out of Emma as well. Emma gets so upset with Sam when trying to convince him to stop doing everything before the crazy chaos happens.
Right.
On campus, she turned small without puking.
Yeah, was it because she was crying? That's the thought. That's the part that I didn't understand. Was
that an Alice in Wonderland thing where she was crying so much that it?
Exactly. I was like, was it because of the cry? But dude, how fucked up was Sam? I was like, at that moment, I was like, Sam, you're such a dick. I mean, he was so mean to her the way he was, and it's like, wow, whatever happens to this kid, maybe he deserves it. I don't know. It was just kind of one of those really. It left like that really sour thing in me about Sam, which is like, you know what? I don't feel sorry for you anymore.
I don't feel sorry for you. I'm not rooting for you anymore because you turned into a dick.
It was the way he treated her, which I just thought it was just because like it really became it. How can I say? It became that moment where, you have a guy who likes his girl or something like that, but next thing you know, he finds other friends and he becomes this dude that
becomes toxic. Yeah.
You're right. And it's like, wow, what happened to the kid that she met? All of a sudden you hang out with different people and you become an asshole. And it happened like within a flash of a second in one episode. It happened. And granted that it's because, I know that he was hurt and they abused him and all these things, but man, all she's ever tried to do was help him. So yeah, that was my my thing on that. And of course Sam keeps seeing Luke. That's the other part.
Oh.
That even though he went off and did all those things, there's a part of his subconscious telling him, dude, everything you're trying to do is wrong. And it's manifesting itself into Luke.
Yeah.
So he's not listening to that inner voice of his.
True. Yeah. Yeah. And that's going to be a constant, I think. I think that's how Schwarzenegger is still going to be in the next season if they do.
Right.
Because Sam's still going to be around. He's still going to be in his subconscious, and they could always use flashbacks. But yeah, and also regarding that crazy fight where we do see Kate's arm get blasted off.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then Maverick, I think it was like the first time we actually saw the actor who played Maverick.
I think so too. Yeah,
naked on the ground after she just like took him out.
But that's so when Kate's arm blows up, that's when Homelander shows up.
Correct.
And then says, what kind of a person? Oh no, what kind of an animal?
Attacks its own.
Attacks its own.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and you would think he's there to help.
No,
he's just because, and that's what leads this whole thing to, I guess, The Boys, where that's going to be really interesting because I think he's showing his colors more and more, I think, in public. And I think Victoria's taking the virus. That's gonna play a big thing, I think, in The Boys and stuff like that. But the fact that Vought frames the whole group and says that they went on a murdering rampage instead of actually the Woods, and they put them on the news, and next thing you know, they wake up all locked up in a place with no doors.
Yeah, but the oddest thing though is Homelander blasts Marie, but yet she is unharmed. There was a full blow, and I'm like, I want to see what really happened. How the hell did she survive that.
I mean, even who was it? Was it Andre said you took a full blast from him and you woke up? Most people would have never done that.
Or it would be dead.
Yeah, so that's also going to be so. I'm just wondering what other powers that she has.
Yeah, that is associated. Maybe just like Deadpool, her body could fall into parts and then she could come back together and not be as crazy.
That
as
would
Wade.
be that would be awesome if she had Deadpool's sense of humor. I could. You know what? That's what they need. I think this show needs a Deadpool character.
Yeah.
One that could actually start. What is it called? The third wall or something like that,
Breaking
or
the fourth wall. Yeah.
breaking the fourth wall or something. Where exactly, he will break the fourth wall all the time. And look into the camera and talk to the audience out there. That I think would be fantastic.
Yeah, they do wake up in what would be a room with no doors or windows or anything. It's completely sealed. And that's how pretty much it ends. But they don't know who their captors are. I'm assuming it's going to be Godolphin University or Vought itself.
Right.
So I'm assuming more Vought. And I think that's what's going to lead us. And we already have a lead into the for the next season of The Boys. But they on the news, because they could see a TV, they have Sam and Kate on there, and or we see it as like a news flash of how like 2 Godolphin University students saved everybody along with Homelander and blah blah blah, and they are the true guardians of Godolphin.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the actual two real people that are that were actually started causing all that chaos. Like I said, Vought basically set them up.
Hmm.
So,
but then we move into the nice tease ender, which would be Billy Butcher coming out and using the C word all the time.
Yeah, he discovers the woods. And what was it that he said at the end?
I forgot.
He said something. I mean, he always says something, crazy, but the fact that you see his face, you're like, oh, like, like this whole thing is just going to be, I keep wondering if they're going to do like an Avengers event type of thing where it's like, okay, so everything comes together.
Yeah.
Towards the end of like whatever
with the university and the boys, and then it's like a full out fight, or they utilize some of the students for Butcher's crew to take over and then maybe Dewey's there and he's got his own team, and
I guarantee that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Invincible showed up.
Yeah.
Man.
But that's pretty much our coverage. The only two things I have, it's like I have one quote out of the whole episode which I did enjoy and I loved it. It's like Kate, when the guy comes out after she releases him from the woods to go and leave, and Kate goes, "When was the last time you saw sunlight? Because he's so pale." And the prisoner just goes, "Is Gangnam Style a thing?"
Oh, I didn't understand what he said. Maybe because I just wasn't paying attention at that very moment, but I didn't realize that's what he said. That's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty funny. It's like, wow, man, I don't think a lot of kids nowadays remember what Gangnam Style was. It's so long ago.
Oh,
you're talking it's 23 years, I think.
Listen, be happy you don't.
The only other thing I have is one note that I took down, because the music in the show and this particular episode, they end on with a cool song, "The Kids in America," but by the Muffs, and I thought it was done very well. I like that. Like I said, with a lot of these shows that are popular like this, Gen V, The Boys, even with Yellow Jackets, shows like that are presenting all this cool music. Either revisited music like with this, because they've done that with this, and we've talked about music that was done on the show, but and it was redone, kind of like me loving the idea of the Bangles back in the day doing Hazy Shade of Winter, which was a Simon and Garfunkel song too, years and years ago. But I like when new bands put out new versions at times, and I like the difference. So yeah, there's got to be a Spotify playlist. So if you guys are interested in the music that they have, I'm pretty sure Spotify has one out there. Somebody made their own, and then
I was just going to say, I'm sure somebody made something.
Yeah. But that was something cool that I did enjoy within the episode. But that's about it. That's all I had for this particular episode. But I'm thankful that we're getting The Boys coming soon with the new season. I'm loving that they kind of like put that influence in there. We got basically Billy Butcher and we got Ashley Barrett back in this particular episode, so it's like a callback to The Boys as well as Anthony Starr as Homelander. So I'm glad that we get that, and then it gives us something to look forward to when The Boys does return. But yeah, with that I think we covered those 2 episodes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So with that, we'll go into where listeners could hear you, Rob.
You can listen to me on Fantasy Picks Movie Edition, where we cover movies that failed at the box, big tentpole movies that failed at the box office or with critics, and we try to give it our own spin and see how we can make it better. We also do a top 5 draft when it comes to film, so it could be directors, movies, actors. We always have fun with that. And we also have our section called Behind the Score, where we cover a well-known movie composer and we cover their work. And yeah, and sometimes I'm here.
Or an Adrenaline Cinema too, which you could also hear me on too. Not only you could hear me here on Panels to Pixels podcast, but you could also hear me on Adrenaline Cinema podcast. We haven't put out anything in a while, but I'm working on stuff for you guys to listen to this coming month, for at least for December. I had something that was out in November. I got one out, thankfully, but that was for Total Recall. But I'm looking to do more. It's just a matter of scheduling. Like I said, it's been tough a lot lately. But you've heard me also on Fantasy Picks Movie Edition as well. Yeah. You could currently hear me on the podcast / Wilhelm podcast about Monarch, the Legacy of Beasts. So you could hear me on that coverage. It's a dual podcast between both Podcast and Wilhelm. So Ben Beck and I are covering that. People will be on to help cover. I believe, Rob, you're next for episode 4 with me and Ben. So we'll be covering that episode. And then I believe Paik and Daphne from Run for Your Lives will show up, as well as Jason Kabasi himself, who's head of Podcastica.
Right.
So you can hear me there. And that's pretty much it. So with that, we didn't put anything out there for feedback for this. I put it out a long time ago because originally we thought we were going to do 5, 6, 7, and 8, but it became a little bit too much, and it was like getting late that night. So if you choose to send any feedback, which we do really appreciate, all you have to do is go to our Facebook group, which would be easy, facebook.com/panels to pixels. It's linked to our Instagram as well. So generally what I do is take an image, what we're covering of the show, movie, episode, or what the topic we're doing, and just leave them in the comments below. Do so if you can. All you have to do is follow us on Facebook, and that's facebook.com/panels to pixels, or on Instagram @panels to pixels podcast. So all you have to do is subscribe and, do all that. Just like on YouTube as well, because I post all the episodes on YouTube as well for podcasts as well as video. All you have to do is search for Panels to Pixels podcast, subscribe, ring the bell so you'd be notified when the new episode is up. Give us a thumbs up, or even rate us because they have ratings as well. But you could just leave your you could comment on the actual episode. So if you have something that you want to say and I get notified, I've done it before. So I'll read it on the podcast. So even if it's something that we've done before, an older episode, or something that we covered before that was a long time ago, but you still have an opinion about it, please send it on over. Do so. And you could email us. Standard texted emails appreciated, and we'll read it. Or if you want, you could just record yourself and send it as an attachment, a voice. So that way you can be part of the podcast as well. All you have to do is send that to panelstopixels1@gmail.com. So it's very simple. And then it's basically panels2 spelled out TO and pixels1@gmail.com. I mentioned YouTube, but the funny thing is if you do search just Panels to Pixels, you'll get Josh. And Josh is in England. So I love Josh's work on his Panels to Pixels, but this is called Panels to Pixels podcast. So keep that in mind. But if you're really interested in what he does everything superhero that's related to gaming, cartoons, everything else, or the nostalgia of certain superhero stuff, even in comics. So check that out. But with that, I just want to thank everyone for listening. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
A different panel, different pixels, same podcast. This was Panels to Pixels podcast, and we'll see you on the next panel. Good night, everybody.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.